Chair now recognizes the gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Tiffany, for his 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. McDermott, I take it you're from Chicago in the Windy City, right?
That's correct.
Tell us everything. So I'm just north of you in Wisconsin. Everything I understand is that you have some of the toughest gun laws in the country in the city of Chicago.
In certain respects, but we also have the right to stand your ground. So yes, we have tough gun laws, but when it comes to self-defense, we do have the right to stand your ground, although most people don't know that.
Have those tough gun laws made Chicago safer?
Not in my opinion, not at all. Unfortunately, there are, as I'm sure you know, approximately 120 firearms in this country for every 100 citizens. A lot of those firearms are in Chicago. There was a period of time where the vast majority during COVID were being purchased out of Illinois. So we have a tremendous amount of firearms that are being purchased to combat the firearms that are already in existence there. More and more people are being attacked violently in Chicago. More and more people are in serious fear of being attacked by those individuals, and they're trying to, as best as possible, arm themselves against the situation.
And yet those tough gun laws have not reversed that trend, is that correct?
Not in any way.
Okay. Ms. Mueller, do gun-free zones work? We see gun-free zones, you see the signs regularly, schools, other places like that. Do gun-free zones work?
No, sir, they do not. They are actually the opposite of what they are intended to do. When you see a gun-free zone, 94% of mass public shootings happen in gun-free zones. They are killers. They empower criminals to come after people and basically shoot people in a barrel, shoot fish in a barrel. They are killers.
Yeah, so I've had a couple of school administrators say to me that just give us the option to be able to not put that sign, gun-free zone, on the front of our school, and it actually would make it safer. Do you agree with those school administrators?
I absolutely agree. I believe that if you put the sign that said that there were people armed in there and people weren't actually armed, that would make your school safer.
I want to talk to you a little bit about you in the final page of the testimony that I saw from you in regards to mental health. I really find it very interesting where you get into psychotropic drugs and things like that, and how much we give this to people. And in particular, I'm concerned about the amount of psychotropic drugs that are given to boys in like 6, 7 years of age in kindergarten, first grade, to control their behavior, and I believe it's rewiring their brains. Now, I don't have scientific evidence of that, but I think we should be doing some research in regards to it. Tell us what you think are some solutions for that could be helpful to prevent some of these shootings that happen as a result of mental health breakdowns.
That's a great question. I do, and I'm not a doctor, and that is a deep, deep well that you just dove into. But I do know that when you tell me that there are black box warning labels and that it causes homicidal and suicidal tendencies, that's pretty much a no-brainer as to why don't we look and do some studies as to how these drugs are affecting our kids and even our adults. So I would like research in that area.
Do you, have you not found much research? Because I haven't either, and it seems to me it's something that there should be, you think about the National Institute of Health and how they've squirreled or I can't use that term here at the dais, how they've wasted money, the American taxpayers' money. It seems like something like this would be a really good research project, especially at some leading universities around America. I mean, isn't there much more research that needs to be done?
Well, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because just like it seems like there's one-sided research in several different areas, not only in the mental health and how it affects guns, but also just the gun-related deal. Because the CDC did do a study in 2013, and the numbers that the saves, that's what's missing from this conversation, is that the number of 48,000 deaths annually from firearms-related causes is a horrible number. But you guys are leaving out the conversation, the number of saves. That study, I think it said 3 million, up to 3 million saves annually. And if we're gonna look at apples and apples, yes, 45,000 deaths is terrible, but when you compare that to the 3 million that it saved, we should be having that conversation as well. It's disingenuous.
Yeah, thank you in regards to that.
And it's scrubbed from the
and-
CDC.
and
It's
Mr.
no longer there.
Yeah, and Mr. Chairman, I think that we should be following up with the administration to try to get better research in regards to this and get more comprehensive research. I want to ask one other question for Mr. Ritter. Give us some context of these crime statistics that we've just been hearing from the other side. Hasn't crime been going down for a few decades, had a spike in 2020, and now is coming back down?
Gentleman's-
Could you give us some context?
Gentleman's time has expired, but we'll allow the witness to answer.
So these statistics primarily deal with a broad range of weapons. You know, my concern is knives. We certainly see that crimes committed with knives have remained somewhat steady over the years if you look at the FBI statistics. And we know that the majority of those crimes are committed with chef's knives. So if you want to ban knives, maybe take everyone's chef's knives away.
I yield back, Mr. Chairman.